This be Rome 313, WRMH 246, be clear and monitor. I probably should clear the frequency myself. Atlanta 73, KF 9860 is clear and going in the house.
Is it my turn?
I think so.
Are we up?
Oh, we're up.
Rome 313.
Oh, well.
CW2, WRJR.
It's still Jason's net.
I'd like to just step in and agree with the gentleman before me. Jason, you're always out there spreading some good words. You're dependable if anyone needs any help, any radio checks.
We're going to have to check with Jason, see if we're allowed to
you.
have a net tonight.
May the night be a blessing to you. No replies necessary.
Your mouse quit on.
CW2, WRJR 959 is clear.
So when I want to make a comment, I say my calls down here and then say it?
We'll point to you when you can identify yourself.
That shout out, my friend. I appreciate that very much, and I hope the rest turn out be a blessing to you as well as they get ready to do the net tonight. Y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening,
dead?
And may all the blessings be upon you. This will be Rome 313, WRMH 246. I'll be clear and monitoring.
Gadget.
Well, good evening, and let's see if the airwaves are clear enough for us to start early check-ins. Rome 313. Can we have the frequency?
Justin, you are sounding fine and wonderful here on the Rome repeater, my friend.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Jason, are you interested in participating in the net tonight?
Sir, go ahead and check me in. I can do studies and, at the same time. Yeah, go ahead and check me in, my friend.
All right. Yes, indeed. Activity on the airwaves counts toward your study time for your technician's exam. So good luck on that upcoming challenge, and wish you the best. We've got you in the log, and we kind of consider just letting you have a net tonight because you were doing such a good job there for a while. Appreciate you bridging the gap while we sorted out a few things that came at us sideways at the very last minute. It's these Gwinnett County spiders.
Who are you, by the way?
Well, I suppose an introduction would be in order. This is WQYR 514, Atlanta 946. My name is Justin.
And I am Atlanta 750, WRMR 367, and my name is Jeff. And we also have a very special guest in studio today. And who are you?
I'm Chat 44, WQF 749. My name's Katie.
Get a little closer to that microphone so that they can hear you.
My name's Katie, and I love doing this stuff. And my call sign is Chat 44, WQF 749.
All right. So where are we going now for check-ins?
Let's take a break, and we'll come right back.
You got to be right up on these microphones, literally, or they won't hear you.
Yeah.
Like,
let's see if Gainesville 285 is out there. Gainesville 285. You interested in checking into tonight's net?
If you're not right up on them,
this Gainesville 285
and we turn them up, you'll just hear the heater.
You can check me in and out. Got a little catching up to do after the activities of the day.
We got to have more volume.
After I get something in my belly, and so we'll be monitoring as best we can. And by way of relay, check Gainesville 286, Lynn and Merville in and out, and we appreciate it.
Well, apparently my keyboard's dead too. All right, Gainesville 285. We've got you in and out tonight, as well as Gainesville 286. between Jeff's mouse being dead and my keyboard not working, we're having all kinds of fun here.
We're batting 1,000.
We sure are. Could just barely hear you there, CV, so I'm not sure if your audio level was way down for a reason on your end or not, but we've got the audio cranked about as loud as we can stand it in here and just short of feeding back. So you might take a look at your audio level there. Let's go next to Atlanta 1402, see if Todd is in there.
So what does the yellow light mean?
Stand by.
Okay. And blue light means like
That's 2 meter. Nothing to do with what we're doing tonight. Red, green, and yellow is all we care about.
All right. Nothing from 285.
You mean Todd?
Right. We missed checking in Ed, Atlanta 7-3. All right, not hearing anything from 1402. Let's just go ahead and open this up to any check-in. Oh, we forgot Zello. We got to do Zello.
There's always room for Zello.
Yeah. So anyone wishing to check in using Zello, please call Net Control.
WRYR 434 Atlanta 590. You can check me in and out, please.
Is WRQG806 Atlanta 557. Ed in Kennesaw, please log me in and
How do you get to see that?
is
This?
No, can you like do it on the phone or something?
RQV 762 Gainesville 44, Cleveland, Georgia. Checking in and out. Is WRXT 576 Atlanta 610 David in Marietta. Checking in.
All right, Net Control will acknowledge Atlanta 590. Bradley is in and out tonight. Chattanooga 40. Gary from Chattanooga right here on the grounds is in with us tonight, as well as Chattanooga 41 Lynn, also from Chattanooga, in tonight. We'll have to round them up at some point, I'm sure. Also, we have Atlanta 557 Ed in Kennesaw in and out. Gainesville 44, Joe in Cleveland is in and out. In Atlanta 610, David in Marietta, in and out. Those are the check-ins we have at this time. At this time, let's continue to take check-ins from Zello and any repeater other than flagship. Any repeater other than flagship, please call Net Control. Can you back me out of the speakers and give me more radio?
This is WRXR342, Atlanta 373. Scott out here in Monroe, Georgia, checking in and out. Got to go cook dinner. Justin, hope to see you tomorrow. And everybody else out there, y'all have a great time. Back over to you.
This.
Check.
Blue Ridge, WRJK 84, check 44. Mike in Blue Ridge, checking in tonight.
Chuck from Blue Ridge.
That was a double.
All right, that was kind of weird. That was a perfect double. And both of you came on and said this is at exactly the same time.
I think it was Blue Ridge 63 and Chattanooga 84, I think.
Let's see if that's right. Blue Ridge 63, was that you just a moment ago? All right. How about Chattanooga 84? Was that you just a moment ago? Bet we got them both wrong.
No,
That was right. It was me. I heard, when I unkeyed, I heard something Blue Ridge, but that's all I heard.
I had it right. It's Blue Ridge 63 and Chattanooga 84. That's right.
All right. Blue Ridge 63. Can you confirm that?
How's your volume? Good now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that the radios are working, I don't even know
Control
if we need
Atlanta
the heat.
590, that was Blue Ridge 63 on Zello.
Understand. Blue Ridge 63 on Zello. That explains why he's not coming back. He's fighting with the app. So good stuff. All right, we've got Blue Ridge. Well, let me go ahead and back up and acknowledge Atlanta 373 Scott in Monroe. In and out. I have Blue Ridge 63 Mike in Blue Ridge is in tonight, and Chattanooga 84 Jim in Hickson also in. Let us know. Well, don't even bother to let us know. If you're not there when we call, we'll figure it out as we go. Let's see if we have any other check-ins on any repeater other than Flagship. Net control standing by.
Have you all had Blue Ridge 83 yet?
Yes.
This is WRXP 337 1110. John, I'm mobile on US 29 between Noonan and Palmetto. I'm going to a high school football game tonight. Please check me in and out.
This is CW2, WRJR 959, and by relay CW1. Steve in Watkinsville, check me in and out, please.
This is Watkinsville 33, WRYE 756, Tom from Bogart.
Watkinsville seats.
I got it.
Okay.
This is WRKJ 453, Chattanooga 69. Ronnie from Las Vegas, checking in and checking out via relay, chat 70 Jana. Also from Las Vegas, checking in and checking out, guys. See y'all tomorrow.
WRMR
You guys are
367,
both on
Atlanta
video.
711. Kate, currently mobile, heading to the Tiki Bar with Teddy Bear, and please check me in and out.
Oops.
Are you going to put Teddy in there?
Yeah, we should.
W299, Dallas 37, David, South Junction, checking in.
This is WRPM 847, Chattanooga 162. Check me in and out, please. Thank you.
Your button is push to talk.
Oh, this?
Yes. The mic is muted until you want to talk. That'll unmute it. That way I don't have to keep pushing buttons over here. You do your own mute.
Maybe I don't want to do that.
Then nobody will hear you. Then nobody will hear you.
All right, we're going to go on the air. All right, let me acknowledge Moreland 10 John on the way to a high school game. Enjoy the game tonight. We've got you in and out. Also, we heard CW2 Steve in Arnoldsville, and by way of relay, CW1 Eileen, also in Arnoldsville. We've got you both in and out. Also, we heard CW33 Tom in Bogart, Georgia. Is he in? I think Tom's in. We're going to leave him in for now. Also, I heard Chattanooga 69 Ronnie in Las Vegas is in and out, as well as Chattanooga 70, also in the bright lights big city of Las Vegas. Atlanta 751 Kate is not currently high atop Mount Waleski, as she is on her way to the Tiki Bar. Thanks for making that trek this evening. Appreciate that. And along for the ride is Atlanta 751.1 Teddy from high atop Mount Waleski. Dallas 37 David in Bowdoin Junction is in with us tonight. In Atlanta 403 Bobby in White County. Is he at the Vortex?
I don't know. I saw it in the Zello listing. We must have stepped on him by accident.
Okay. All right. So we missed him in Zello. Let's just click on the little VoIP thing here. All right, Bobby, we've got you in the log at this time, and we don't know if you're at the Vortex or not, but we'll figure it out. All right. So should we continue on with check-ins?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can get anybody from any repeater anywhere, including the flagship repeater.
Should we maybe check in with our help staff that just left before we go to the opening the floodgates?
Which who left?
We got Atlanta 236 on the way home and Dallas 20.
Oh, those guys just left. Yeah, we should
check in with the help.
All right, Atlanta 236. Are you monitoring? Are you gonna participate this evening? Or are you going home, going to bed? That's why we call him Numchuck. All right. Dallas 20, David, are you monitoring this evening?
Yes, sir. This is Dallas 20, WRKT 728. Yes, sir.
All right. We got you in the log tonight. We'll call on here in just a little bit. And what about...
Gainesville 23.
Gainesville 23. Bob with only 1-0.
That's right.
Yeah. Bob, are you in tonight?
Is Gainesville 23, WROU 359. I am in tonight.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, so we got another check-in here. Who is this? This is...
And what's your name? Greg Colburn.
We have a visitor, WRLM 768. Greg, where are you from, Greg?
Should be WRML. You might have it, put it in backwards. WRML.
WRML, that's what he put in, 768. All right, Warner Robbins, fantastic. Glad to have you along tonight. All right, and so that's what we have at the moment. So let's go ahead and take another round of check-ins.
Any repeater, anywhere.
We're going to skip our...
This is WRPM 847, Chattanooga 162. Check me in and out, please. This is Atlanta 236, WRWM 256. Chuck, almost in Dawsonville. And I'll be in and out.
No, you're not. We're calling on you.
This is Atlanta 240, WRVS 777. I'll be in and out tonight.
This is WRZD 544, Atlanta 316. David in Johns Creek, my first net on this repeater.
This is WRWA 386, Atlanta 214. Tyler incoming. Check me in tonight, guys.
This is WRWK 895, Atlanta 259, Dana and Dahlonega. You guys can check me in tonight.
Main one, and walk one, and let me in and out.
This WRNG 494, Atlanta 292, Derek and Rockmart.
say in and out?
I don't know, but he usually is.
Look forward to it.
Lookout repeater coming from Franklin County, Tennessee on top of Bear Mountain. Checking in and out.
All right, last station. We heard in and out, and we heard a lot of cracking and popping and noise. And we could hear a voice in there, but we couldn't hear very much. So we did not get your we didn't get your ID. We don't have your TAC number or your call sign or your name. So if you can do something to improve your signal and try that again. But as it is, I don't know that we're going to hear that. It's just a lot of noise. But let me go ahead and acknowledge what we have. I have Chattanooga 162, Larry in Chattanooga, in and out. Atlanta 240, Pat in Duluth is in and out. Atlanta 316, David in Johns Creek, first net check-in. Glad to have you along tonight, David. We've got you in. We have Atlanta 214, Tyler in Cumming is in and out. Atlanta 259, Dana in Dahlonega is in tonight. Cades Cove 81, Candace in Rockwood is in and out. And Atlanta 292, Derek in Rockmart, in and out. And also Chuck, Atlanta 236. We'll go ahead and acknowledge you. We've got you in there before you even knew it. So that was your second check-in, even though it was your first. All right, at this time, let's go ahead and take additional check-ins from any repeater anywhere. This will be our last round before we go to the top.
That rough copy was Chattanooga.
RCB 924, Blue Ridge 68.
68?
Zello's really hot tonight.
This is WRV G415, Atlanta 11, John and Ken. Good evening, Net Control. Please check me in and out for tonight.
This is WRNU 813, Atlanta 931. Scott in Canton. Check me in, check me out.
This is Good evening, Net Control. This is Atlanta 532, WRNW 488, Tom in Flowery Branch, checking in and checking out. Have a great net, everybody.
This is
WRVR 303, Chattanooga 30, Jonathan Ryan checking in from Lakeside, Tennessee.
This is WRTI 560, Atlanta 589, Don in Kennesaw, checking in and out.
I'll see you guys tomorrow at the Hamfest.
I thought there was a double there.
RZB, Blue Ridge 68, Greg and Morganton, checking in and out.
We already got him.
Who was that?
Blue Ridge 68. He's already in there.
XI 755, case code 83 in Rockwood, Tennessee. Bill, checking in and out.
can't help you with that one. Somebody from Lookout Mountain.
It's being recorded for later replay. Uh-huh. Everything. All of it. Yes.
This is WRXI 755 Cage Cove 80. Checking in. Eric from Rockwood, a.k.a. Rocky. I think I doubled with somebody earlier. That's why I'm checking in again if you did hear me the first time.
All right. Long, uncomfortable pause for a couple of reasons. First one is we're still sorting some things out here. But second is because we want to be sure anybody trying to check in using Zello has that opportunity. So let me acknowledge what we have here. We have Atlanta 214. Tyler incoming is in and out. I think I've already acknowledged some of these. Let me go through them again anyway. Also have Atlanta 259. Dana in Dahlonega is in with us tonight. Cades Cove 81. Candace in Rockwood.
Easy for you to say.
Apparently not. Candace is in and out tonight. We also have Atlanta 292. Derek in Rockmart in and out. Chattanooga 10. David in Ooltewah. I almost said that David was in rough copy. We had a rough copy on you, David, but we got you in here. Also, we have Blue Ridge 68. Greg in Morganton is in and out. Atlanta 11. John in Canton / Woodstock / Holly Springs. I'm not sure where he's at tonight.
Cherokee County.
He's somewhere in Cherokee County. Thanks for checking in tonight, John. We've got you in and out. Atlanta 931. Scott in Canton. He's almost always sure of being in Canton.
Yeah, he's a definite.
He's in and out. In Atlanta 532. Tom in Flowery Branch in and out. Chattanooga 30. Jonathan in Lakeside is in with us tonight. Atlanta 589. Don in Kennesaw. Actually, doesn't he? He comes from the Red Rock community. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's right. Don is in and out tonight. Cades Cove 83. Bill in Rockwood is in and out. And Cades Cove 80. Good call. Checking in again because we did not hear you. But we've got you in here now, Rocky. Thanks for checking into the net. And that's the end of our roster at this time. So what are we talking about tonight, Jeff?
Yeah.
So the question I think that is currently relevant is, how do you know when you're at a Hamfest and you're looking at a used radio, how do you know if that radio can be used in North Georgia GMRS Network? I mean, it would be a shame to come here and buy a radio from a vendor and get it home and find out that it's not okay to use on the network. What's the matter? You can't find the right button? It takes a minute. Okay. So I think that's our topic tonight. We're going to talk about how to find and identify whether the radio that's in your hand is one that you can use on our network.
Great topic. Love it. I think we have a video about that.
Well,
Are you ready?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Are you going to do the regular script?
Oh, we should probably do that. Yeah. All right. So I think Jeff just pointed out that I've missed something here, and this is kind of we've kind of started off sideways here tonight, but that's okay. We're gonna finish sideways as well. I'm quite certain of it. But in any case, at this point, I'm going to say good evening and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we are live from Studio Vanguard at the Gwinnett County Fairgrounds for Stone Mountain Hamfest. Tonight we are linked in with the following repeaters.
Cades Cove, Lookout Mountain, Fort Mountain, White Oak Mountain, Chattanooga, Georgetown, Ottawa, Flagship, Columbus, Noonan, Watkinsville, Jersey, Rome, the infamous Vanguard repeater, McDonough, Lula, Dallas, Ocala, Florida, and of course our VoIP service, Zello.
Yeah, all of those repeaters.
A bunch.
So what is our RF coverage tonight is 41,000 square miles.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Plus some?
Yeah.
Because we haven't calculated Lookout Mountain. When are we going to do that?
We got Vanguard on the air also.
Vanguard is on the air. The Vanguard repeater is operating from the grounds. So anyone that is on the grounds can tune their radio either to Flagship or, if you want better crystal clear coverage, tune into the Vanguard frequency and use that while you're here on the grounds tomorrow and Sunday for the Hamfest. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. I'd like to thank everyone who's made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin, and
Atlanta 750, WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
This is Chat 44, WQIR 749. My name's Katie.
And WQIR 514, Atlanta 947. My name's Julie.
All right, everybody's here. On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or whatever chatter that might interest you at the moment. This net takes place every Thursday evening. I'm sorry, we already did that. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. Your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and sign out of the net.
I think we got the heat working now too.
Fantastic. So, Julie, are you going to tip? Are you going to tip us tonight?
Let's reset, and Julie can take it away.
Is that kind of like cow tipping?
It could be kind of like cow tipping.
That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that's in the script.
All right. Well, as I said earlier, this is WQIR 514, Atlanta 947, sitting right here at the Stone Mountain Hamfest. Say that fast. This week on the new user tips and operating procedures, we will talk about our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel was recently rebooted. After taking time off of live streaming our weekly nets, we recently resumed the live streams for our Thursday evenings North Georgia GMRS regional net. You can get a behind-the-mics glimpse of what goes on during the net and hear the off-air comments. You can also get a good sense of what we hear when you check in. And it may shed some light on why some stations don't get heard. Our YouTube channel is also the place where you can find episodes of Julie's Tips as we record them, as well as informational videos such as the Part 90, Part 95 compliance, and the Anytone D578 Pro unboxing and initial setup videos recently posted. We hope to grow the channel to make it a resource for useful GMRS information, a place for new GMRS users to learn about GMRS two-way radio, and a place where seasoned users can find information and learn things they didn't already know. We learn a lot too while shooting these videos, from researching topics of discussion and writing the material. There's a lot that goes on with the presentations we make, which is why we wanted to resume the live stream and create an archive of the weekly nets and make a place where good, researched, and reliable information can be found. We try to keep it well organized by creating playlists by category, so browse around through all the different playlists to find the video you're after. Let me break. There are a few ways you can support the North Georgia GMRS Network YouTube channel. First, like and subscribe to our videos when you watch them. We're not yet monetized, but we hope to grow the channel so that it can support its own expenses and we can improve the quality of the content as we go. Second, leave a comment in the YouTube within the videos. These comments show YouTube engagement with the audience, which can carry more clout than a like. Engagement helps to elevate our videos in searches and improves the chance of more people seeing the videos. Third, make suggestions. Comment on what you'd like to see, what you'd like us to review, or demonstrate, or even talk about. This input can help direct the content in ways we might not be able to see. Our goal is to provide content with value in presentation and in information so it can be a good resource for both new and seasoned GMRS users. And fourth, total watch time. YouTube gives us credit for total time watched of our videos. So the more videos you watch in their entirety, the more credit we get for your view. A couple of things to know. You can view a live stream as it happens, but when we end the live stream, YouTube takes it down briefly. They run analytics on our live stream to search for copyright infringement or any other content violations. When the video passes the automated analytics, it then becomes available for playback, usually within a few hours. Some locations we operate from won't support a live stream, but we may be able to record the broadcast and stream it later. If there isn't a live stream available, a playback may be uploaded the next day. These are just a few new user tips and operating procedures. I hope you'll tune in next week for my next episode of Julie's Tips and Operating Procedures. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions for new user tips and operating procedures, send me a note at julie@NGGMRS.org. We are North Georgia GMRS Network, and this is WQIR 514 Atlanta 947.
Very good. Thank you very much for those new user tips and operating procedures. And great job ad-libbing through the script there. Much better than that other time.
What might you be talking
I don't know.
I don't know either. I have no clue.
I'm not sure. Not sure what that was in reference to. But in any case, so tonight we're going to talk about how to identify whether a radio is a not only is it a Part 90 or a Part 95 radio, but is it the right radio for use on the GMRS network? So, like for instance, the classic, the Kenwood TK880, that radio comes in several UHF varieties, and not all of them are usable on GMRS frequencies. So you could end up with a great radio and potentially a legal radio, as it is a Part 90 radio, but a useless radio because it is not capable of operating within the frequencies that we use in North Georgia GMRS. So there's a website you can go to that will give you a lot of information about type acceptance for a radio, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what the frequency spread or band of that radio is, unless you dig a little bit deeper. So we'll talk about that tonight, and hopefully those that are coming to the Hamfest will have the opportunity to buy a radio without fear of buying the wrong radio. Jeff, do you have anything?
Well, I was just making sure our guests outside weren't shivering to death, so They seem to be okay.
Excellent.
Well, we have Mr. and Mrs. Owensby outside. And they're sorting a few things out, trying to figure out the gate and those kinds of things, but they're hanging out with us so that Katie can be in here with us.
They might be locked in tonight. They may be staying with us.
Well, maybe.
We got all kinds of goofy information about the gate. So everything we heard about that gate over there
was false.
That gate's not going to be operational tonight.
I almost didn't get out because they were starting to close up by the road.
So you came in that entrance, or you came in one over behind the building?
The first entrance where I had to turn around.
Uh-huh.
That one they were closing up. Just before I was through this.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I guess the important part is for folks coming to see us tomorrow, the Davis Road entrance will be open tomorrow.
Yeah, so there's another event that's happening on the fairgrounds that uses the parking lot that you would traditionally use. So in the past, you would use that first entrance into the fairgrounds off of Sugarloaf Parkway. That parking lot is going to be utilized for a recycling event. So anybody that's coming to the Hamfest, if you come in to the recycling entrance, you're not going to be able to get into the Hamfest that way. So what you'll need to do is come on down a little further down. It's not far. It's less than a half a mile down Sugarloaf Parkway to the Davis Road turn. There are signs. There are big signs that are put up for the Hamfest. Everything's dying tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, batteries are dying on everything.
Mices aren't working. We got multiple failures here.
So come on down to the Davis Road entrance. Turn left on Davis Road. Go just a short ways. You'll see the entrance to the park, to the fairgrounds. Turn left again into that lot, and you'll be able to park and enter from there. In a lot of ways, I think it's a better entrance, and should be a little easier to use for us. We're going to break and come right back. All right, we're back. And with that, we're going to go ahead to the top of our roster. And we're going to talk with Chattanooga 4-4, Katie. And Katie, do you plan on buying any radios while you're here at the Hamfest?
Don't forget, get right up on it.
Well, I'm not sure, but my grandfather, Gary, might. He always gets something from Hamfest, so I might get a few things, but it might not be a radio.
No, okay. I'm not sure. I mean, this Hamfest is often more radio and amateur radio oriented in terms of some of the Hamfests that we go to have a lot of other stuff, housewares. I've seen Tupperware at Hamfests. Not exactly Tupperware brand, but, you know, that kind of food packaging, home food packaging. I've seen various vendors selling all sorts and variety of housewares, clothing. I've seen motorcycle, dog collars, motorcycle accessories. So, but this Hamfest traditionally is a little bit more focused on radio and radio-related products. Now, there have been exceptions to that rule along the way, but was one of the things I've come to appreciate about this Hamfest is that it is more focused on radio-related products. So the Boneyard's a lot of fun. I noticed that somebody out there in the Boneyard's got some Roan 25 tower for sale. I understand that another vendor has a tilt base for a Roan 25. So there's an opportunity right there. I
got a question. Katie said she was studying for her amateur test. Katie, are you taking the test while you're here? Because it'd be a great opportunity to do that. Or am I putting you on the spot?
Well, you're putting me on the spot right here, but I'm not sure if I'm doing it. I'm still studying, but I'll get it at one point sometime, but it might not be this Hamfest.
Well, you know my job is to put you on the spot, right? You put me on the spot by showing up at the last minute, so we're going to put you on the spot when we put you on camera.
Yeah, but more seriously though, Katie, this is a great opportunity to kind of assess where you're at in your studies. You might be surprised. What if you took the test tomorrow and passed? Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be really nice to actually have that go, but I'm still thinking.
Well,
but I'm also still studying.
I think that you should strongly consider taking the test and consider it an element of your practice. And if you're surprised, that's very cool. And if you don't pass, well, at least you'll have some idea of what the structure of the test is, because they're very similar from one test location to the next. And you'll have an idea what to expect next time.
And what you need to study more on.
Well, if I do it this time and I fail, it's like a practice test pretty much.
Exactly.
So then I'll have another time, but then I'll know what to study on harder.
That's right.
And if you pass the test tomorrow, you can be the proud owner of a North Georgia GMRS Stone Mountain sticker. This is much like the Hamfest at Chattanooga sticker, but this one is for Stone Mountain. So these are limited edition and highly collectible.
Yeah, I saw the Chattanooga ones. They have like a train on it, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what that's all about.
But I'll highly consider about taking that test tomorrow. Although I've not studied as much, but I know a few things at least.
Very good. Very good.
Well, let's go ahead, speaking of studying for tests, and call on the next person on the list, which is Rome 313, who also mentioned the possibility of taking his test tomorrow.
I think we're talking to the next amateur radio technician right now. Rome 313.
On 313, go right ahead, my friend.
Jay, are we talking to the next amateur radio technician?
I was kind of hoping for it, but my rod fell through, so I'm going to have to wait till the next test, hopefully. But, yeah, I've been studying about 4 days here lately, but everything's going to be all right. I believe in that, my friend, and I hope she passes her test and everything's good.
Well, I hope so too. I'm dismayed.
Well, we got 50 people checked into this net so far. I'm guessing we can find somebody to give Jason a ride so he can come here and take the test tomorrow.
Oh, that would be great. If anybody's available for that, sure would appreciate getting Jason here so we can capitalize on 4 days of study.
So, Jason, if we can come up with a ride for you tomorrow, you think you're going to come here and pass that test?
I sure am hoping.
I think I heard a comment in there. Let's see what that comment is.
WRKJ 453, Chattanooga 69. Jason, I got you back, brother. I'll be heading out the door about 7 o'clock. I'll be there to pick you up.
Well, that's fantastic, Ronnie. Do you need to make any contact? Do you need to share any information to make that happen, or do you already have what you need to reach out to Jason?
I've got all of that under control, buddy. Yes, sir. I've got his address, his phone number, everything. If that's all it's going to take, I'll get down there and pick him up on my way in.
All right, Jason. Well, you heard that. No more goofing off. Get back to studying, and we'll look forward to seeing you here tomorrow.
And when you get here tomorrow, you can grab Miss Katie and take her in for the test with you.
I think she would make a great good luck charm.
I think so too.
Yeah, and a test pal. You guys can reassure one another.
Study buddies.
Y'all had to include me in this, didn't y'all?
Absolutely. All right.
How's that sound, Jason? We got your ride and we got your study buddy.
Sir, that's why I never, ever called this a group or a club. That's why I've always called it a family, because somebody's out there to help you and reach whatever you need. And I appreciate it. And my study buddy, she wants to get out there, or whomever, yeah, I could use one. And I want to thank Ronnie over the air for his contributions. I want to thank you guys for being the best you can be. This will be wrong 313-246. I'll be clear and monitoring.
Did you mention the open house yet?
No. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, Jason. Well, we look forward to seeing you and Ronnie tomorrow. And when you're on your way here, call out for Chattanooga 44, which is going to be Miss Katie. That's going to be your study buddy when you get here. So Chattanooga 44 and Rome 313 are going to be taking the amateur test tomorrow. And we'll see if we can pick up any other members along the way here during the net tonight. So next on our list, we have Gainesville 285, C. Charlie V. Victor 2 times. He was in and out. As well as Gainesville 286, Miss Lynn, also in Murrayville, and also in and out.
Good. I think it's a good time for us to just take a moment and say thanks for the use of the portable palace while we're on the grounds this weekend.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea.
So, CV, many thanks for what you've done and the resource that you provided, and your support, and your ongoing support, and your continuous support of this network.
And we don't have catch up with Kate today.
No condiments?
No condiments. But there is an announcement that needs to be made.
How are we going to do that without Kate?
I guess we'll have to wing it. So
is that with the Frank's Red Hot and the butter and the celery salt?
Chicken wing.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know anything about that, do you?
No. I don't know. I can't help you with that. But the announcement that needs to be made is we've been made aware of a grand opening of an actual Sticks and Bricks store for Chattanooga Radio. And you can see Justin pointing to our own banner instead of the proper one because he's not looking. The Chattanooga Radio actually has a store opening next Saturday for the grand opening, and I'll have to look for the address in my email.
So I understand there's going to be food and entertainment and dancing girls and all kinds of things. So
I don't think the dancing girls was
no
part
dancing
of it.
girls. Maybe I misunderstood. I can't seem to get. We're all having trouble with our mouse tonight. There we go. I've got it right here on the screen, but it's behind there. So it is November 11th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and it is at 4000 7th Avenue. 4000 7th Avenue. That's in Chattanooga, 37407. Lunch starts at 11.
So Chattanooga Radio is here with us this weekend, and they will be selling radios that are approved to be used on our network. One of them may even be the one that I made the video of this past week. So that one's pre-programmed and ready to go.
Oh, that is plug and play. That's as plug and play as you can get.
That's right.
So take it home, give it power, give it an antenna, plug the included microphone into the front panel, and hit the PTT, and you are there.
That's right.
So
Chattanooga Radio is an approved vendor for the North Georgia GMRS Network, and they will get you what you actually need for your station, whether it be mobile, base station, the proper coax, proper antenna, all those kinds of things. So if we don't have what you need at the North Georgia GMRS booth this weekend, that should be your very next stop.
Absolutely. And there are some radios available at the North Georgia GMRS booth this weekend, correct?
That's right. Didn't y'all unload them already?
No, I've been by the booth and I've seen some stuff stacked up there, but I didn't really have a chance to look. I think I saw something like a dozen HTs kind of lined up neatly in a row. I guess those are going to be for sale.
I think he's got more than that. I think that's just what he put on the table.
It could very well be because there were boxes
Yeah.
back behind. You know, there's that. There are plenty of mobile radios. I think there are a couple of different varieties. There's some base stations, which is basically a power supply with a housing that contains a mobile radio, but it's all self-contained so that it's kind of just a single unit. You plug a microphone into that, you plug an antenna into that, you put power in on the wall, and you're good to go. So those are really neat little self-contained stations. When Julie and I first started doing the net years and years ago, Julie was operating off of an HT, and it was challenging in many ways. It was challenging because, you know, as many of us are well aware, when you move even just a little bit, your signal kind of washes in and out with an HT. And then listening for check-ins on anybody with a marginal station is really, really tough when you're trying to do it with an HT. So we discourage operating nets off of an HT based off of what we've learned along the way. But because of the challenges that we faced, Atlanta 60 presented us with a really nice Kenwood base station radio, very much like the ones that are for sale on his booth tomorrow. So we'll definitely invite you to check that out and take one of those things home. There's lots of other stuff there too. There's service monitors. He's got a couple of service monitors for sale.
That's right. I think he's even got a couple of the little Kenwood desktop repeaters as well, I think.
Ah, I didn't see that, so I'll have to go out and check that out. Huh. So lots of opportunities to go home with. And the thing is, if you buy one of Gary's HTs or one of his mobile radios, that radio has been bench tested and validated and programmed and is ready to go, much like the one radio that Chat Radio has that's plug and play. All of the radios that come from the North Georgia GMRS North Georgia GMRS booth will be plug and play, ready to go. So just give it power, give it an antenna, plug in a microphone, and you're on the air.
Let's break.
Who's got the BTD down? Was it you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just letting you know I was letting go of it.
Ah.
Go ahead.
All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and continue on. We have Atlanta 7-3 Ed in Lawrenceville. Ed, are you planning on coming out to the Hamfest tomorrow, and you think you're going to take a radio home?
I will be there, and you need to be aware that you are doing a lot of popping and cracking and breaking up periodically. You might want to check some connections.
I noticed that our core connection on the central core is dropping in and out.
Wrong 31-3 to net control. Both of y'all are sounding absolutely wonderful. I mean, no background noise or anything.
Was it Starlink on the
Maybe.
flagship side?
May very well be.
Gates Cove 80, net control. I heard the popping and cracking and breaking up.
That's not possible.
No, all right. Understand there's some popping and cracking and breaking up. We suspect that is possibly a bandwidth constriction.
Could be, yeah.
Probably at flagship.
Well, not if Rocky's hearing it.
Okay. Well, somewhere.
Yeah, for sure somewhere.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully it improves or stabilizes, but there's not a lot that we can do about that from here. So, Ed, were you planning on coming to the Hamfest tomorrow?
That is an affirmative. I will be there probably around 8. I think it's when the doors open, or shortly thereafter. We'll take a run through the boneyard before it all disappears, and then we'll come inside and see what's inside as well, and check some radios to see if they're the right ones for this service.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, and that is kind of the message that we want to send out. I'm aware that folks have recently acquired radios only to find that the radio that they've acquired is not appropriate for North Georgia GMRS or for GMRS in general. And we just want to make sure that we can avoid that heartache if at all possible. So, Ed, I know you have the experience and the knowledge to get past that, but what would you recommend someone do if they're faced with an opportunity to get a radio at an incredible price? What would you suggest they do to make sure that it's something they can use on GMRS?
If they're looking at a Kenwood, if you will look at the FCC ID, if the last four digits are 3110, it's acceptable for our service. Other than that, take a frequency meter with you.
So yeah, the last portion of the FCC ID number will indicate which portion of the UHF band that radio operates in. Kenwood breaks UHF into, I believe, into 3 segments. And so the 440 band in commercial radio and in amateur radio is just outside of GMRS frequencies. So there are many radios that operate from 430 to 450 megahertz. And if that's the radio that you end up with, it won't play at 462 to 467 megahertz. And that's what we need for North Georgia GMRS, is a radio, a Part 90 radio that'll operate in that frequency range. So if you get the 450 to 470 radio, then you're good. I think there's also a 450 to 490 radio. That one is also acceptable. So of the 3 varieties of UHF radios that you might get as Kenwood used radios, only one of the 3 are unsuitable for GMRS. It just so happens that is a great radio for amateur radio. So if that's your purpose or your pursuit, then no foul. You just reallocate the use of that radio for amateur radio in the 440 band. But if you're looking for a radio, ask the seller. They ought to know if that radio is capable of 460 to 470 megahertz operation. And if they don't know, they shrug their shoulders or are unwilling to commit, you can look it up by using the FCC ID number on the label on the back or the bottom of the radio. So good information, Ed. Thank you for that. Did you have anything to add? What are you trying to fix over there? We break something? Is it a spider?
No, it's fine.
Not a spider? All right. He's looking at his phone. He's looking underneath the cabinet. He's looking at the wiring. He's got me nervous. Makes me think something's broken. Let me break. We'll come right back.
I can switch over to RF if you want to. That's what I just did. I put the antenna on the UHF radio.
Okay. If you want to.
If the node is a problem, then
let's
we
do
can
it.
Switch.
Yeah.
Not yet. So continue, and then I'll prepare.
Okay. All right. So I have to stall for a few more minutes. Is that the idea? All right. He's laughing and looking at me like, well, yeah. Okay. So with that in mind, we're going to continue on to Gainesville 44. Joe in Cleveland is in and out tonight. Also, we have Atlanta 610. David in Marietta is in and out tonight. Atlanta 373. Scott in Monroe is in and out tonight. That'll bring us next to Blue Ridge 63. Mike in Blue Ridge. Mike, are you coming to the Hamfest? And what are you going to do to make sure you buy the correct radio for GMRS applications?
Everyone, 3 WRWN 344. I am going to be out tomorrow morning, bright and early. Going to try to be there as close to 8 a.m. as possible. So I've got decent picks in the boneyard. I'm looking for a radio, maybe 2. What I'm looking for is an all-mode, all-band amateur side. And maybe, we'll see, maybe I'll bring home a Kenwood for the GMRS side as well. It'll depend on how good I can find some deals. So if you know anybody selling any Kenwoods for a good deal, maybe you'll find me there as well.
Well, the Kenwood radios are great radios to go for. I love the sound of a Kenwood radio. I'm wondering why I have a green light and a red light on at the same time, but it's probably because we are receiving on the RF side while we're transmitting on GMRS.
We should sound better now, though.
Oh, are we transmitting on the RF?
We're transmitting on RF. Check with Mike and make sure our signal's better now.
Mike, how do we sound?
Maybe a little tough to tell a difference. If I'm being perfectly honest, that transmission was completely smooth from where I'm sitting, but I'm on Zello tonight, so I'm probably not a whole lot of help from a signal standpoint. You're coming through perfectly clear to me.
Oh, very good. We've made a little transition here from our digital path to an RF path. So we should be RF into the network now, and that should escape us from any packet loss that we're seeing. With the exception of, we do sometimes get some packet loss on the flagship machine, and there's not a lot we can do about that from here. But hopefully we've addressed the issue at the moment, and we'll see how things progress. But Jeff is over there moving patch cords and unhooking things and plugging other stuff in, and he's pushing buttons. He's ran outside now. I'm not sure if there was a spider or what that was. He wasn't screaming, so I think we're okay.
Well, he's also unlocking doors and messing with wires, pretty much.
Yeah, so all kinds of crazy stuff going on at the other end of Vanguard. So good stuff, Mike. Well, oh, that was my timeout timer. We're definitely in a different world now. Twilight Zone stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah, really. So good luck on your hunt for good deals tomorrow morning. And you're going to have to get here early to beat Mike and Ed. They both plan on being here right at the opening of the gate to score from the boneyard and from inside at the North Georgia GMRS booth. So plan on second or third pickings if you're not here right away. All right, with that, we're going to move on to Chattanooga 8-4. Jim in Hickson is in tonight. Jim, you plan on coming all the way over to Stone Mountain Hamfest?
Hey, good evening, guys. I planned on it, but my new grandson and my son needs me to help him do a project that we only have a certain amount of time to do. I wonder why that is. Anyway, I may get Ronnie to do a DoorDash for me and grab HT off the table and reimburse him when he gets back. But I was looking forward to coming down there, but unfortunately I'm not now.
Well, that's the challenge that we face sometimes. Family is always first, and we always have to be sure that we're taking that into account. So good call on your part to take care of family, and hopefully Ronnie can get what you were looking for and get you in shape. So we look forward to seeing you at the next event, whatever that might be. All right. Did you have anything else, Jim?
No. Earlier, it just sounded like you guys were just cutting out and then coming right back in. That's what it sounded like. So, because everything just went away and then just came right back. But you solved it. Sounds good. Have a good Hamfest down there and be safe. WRKK 629, Chattanooga 84, back to that.
All right, thank you for that, Jim. Yeah, I think we've maybe got that issue resolved. We think it was a bandwidth restriction with our connection here. So with that, we're going to continue on. Moreland 1-0 John in Grantville he's at a high school game tonight, so he's in and out. CW 2-0 Steve in Arnoldsville is I've got him in. I'm not sure if he was in and out or not. Steve, are you there? You plan on coming up to the Hamfest? All right, I'm not hearing no response from CW2, Steve from Arnoldsville. So we're going to show him as in and out. And with that, I'm going to continue on with CW10 was a relay. Eileen, also from Arnoldsville, in and out. That'll bring us to CW33. Tom in Bogart is in with us tonight. Tom, are you planning on coming up to the Hamfest? Did you fix it?
Way better.
All right.
And your light should work properly.
Okay. This might go fast. I need a refill.
You need a green one?
Yeah. All right, not hearing anything from Tom. CW33, we're going to continue on to Chattanooga 6-9, Ronnie in Las Vegas. Ronnie's going to help out with getting Jason to the Hamfest tomorrow. Appreciate that, Ronnie, very much. Also, I have Chattanooga 7-0, Jana in Las Vegas is in and out. And that'll bring us to Atlanta 751. Kate on her way to, from, or near the Tiki Bar. Kate is solving a problem for us at this very moment. So thank you for that. And so Kate is in and out as she is off and running. But let's check in with Atlanta 751.1. Teddy from high atop Mount Waleski. Teddy, are you there?
Kate's in and out, but Teddy's in.
It'd be great if there was a dog barking right now.
I don't think Teddy's going to answer you.
What did you say?
I don't think Teddy's going to answer you.
Well, why not?
I don't think the pause will work on the Zello screen.
All right. Well, since we're not getting a response from Teddy, we're going to continue on to Dallas 37. Dallas 37. David, Bowdoin Junction. David is in tonight. David, are you coming over to the Hamfest? And how would you look for a radio to be sure it was going to be compatible with GMRS frequencies?
You stepped on Kate. Kate was trying to come back to you on Zello.
Tell her to try it again.
Is Starlink just not keeping up on... Even the node manager is not accurate.
I understand I stepped on Kate, Atlanta 751, was trying to make a response. So I'm going to make a break here and see if we can get her response in now. Atlanta 751.
Justin, she did respond to you.
Now Rocky just stepped on her. Because I'm watching here. She tried to get back in and he stepped on her.
Atlanta 751. This is Atlanta 590. If you want to try again, Kate's code 80 had actually stepped on you before it actually allowed you to take the repeater.
try this one more time. This is WRMR 367, Atlanta 751, alongside Atlanta 751.1, Mr. Teddy, headed home to get a good night's sleep so that we can head out early and hang out with all you guys at Stone Mountain Hamfest tomorrow.
Well, that's fantastic. And for all of you who are wondering who Mr. Teddy is, the best way to find out is to come to the Hamfest to meet him.
And he'll probably be hanging out right next to the popcorn machine.
Very, very close to it, I'm sure.
That's his favorite place.
And well, it's one of my favorite places too. You can come to the Hamfest and you can buy popcorn from some of the other radio clubs, or you can just come by our Hamfest and we'll give it to you. So come enjoy some popcorn while you're here. Let's see if Dallas 37 David is still there. David, are you gonna come to the Hamfest?
Hey, good evening. Justin, I'm still on the fence. I've got a buddy that wants to go, and I'm kind of waiting to see if he's going or not. And also have another event that I'm interested in going to. So I haven't decided yet. It'll be a last-minute decision for me on this one.
All right. Well, whichever event you choose to go to, I hope that you have a great time, and look forward to potentially meeting you and your buddy here tomorrow. So come on out and check out the Vanguard and all the other cool things that the Hamfest always has, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. If not, then I hope you have a good time at the other event. I think I know what that is. Next on the list is Atlanta 403. Bobby in White County or at the Vortex. He's somewhere. Bobby's in and out tonight, so I imagine he's busy with things. That'll bring us next to Atlanta 236. Chuck, trying to get some rest, but listening in anyway. Chuck, are you planning on coming to the Hamfest tomorrow, and do you think you'll be buying any radios?
Well, actually, I think Gary got me for some money today. I definitely will be there tomorrow, and I am home. I made it home. Passed a few Murphys on the road, but I'm doing fine. And, yep, I'll see you bright and early when the sun comes up.
Fantastic. Well, I was looking forward to sleeping in tomorrow. For some reason, I had it in my mind that this thing didn't start until 10, but then I realized we're not in Chattanooga, so no sleeping in, I guess.
Well, and I'm glad Mr. Murphy went home with him, but I think his twin is still hanging around here because nothing seems to be working right tonight.
That's for sure.
Chuck, make sure you bring Murphy, at least put him in the truck tomorrow when you get here.
Am I going to need to bring some batteries? What do I need? So send me a message in the morning and I'll pick it up on the way.
Well, I think by the time you show up here in the morning, whatever we need batteries for, we won't need for the rest of the weekend. So I think it's a moot point at that point.
All right. Well, Chuck, we look forward to seeing you here bright and early tomorrow morning, and you might check in with 750 before you get here and see what the coffee order is. But I think we're pretty good on the Munchkins here. I think there's about a half a box left, unless Katie finishes them off, and we should be in pretty good shape. Next, I have Dallas 20. David. He is not in Southwest Paulding County. David, where are you at?
Hey, Justin. I am hanging out down the road, having our own little meeting at Bob's house.
We're very cool. Glad to hear that you're hanging out with Bob, keeping him out of trouble, perhaps, or maybe not. I noticed that the bottle's still here, so a little fear of that particular conundrum.
I thought that was with a different party that was here.
Yeah, it was intended, but you know how that goes. It just Yeah, it's right there on the wall.
Still there.
Still there. So, so good stuff. Well, you guys planning on the whole weekend here?
Yes, sir. We'll be there bright and early. I've got a short shopping list of things I'm looking for, and trying to acquire some parts for a future build. But yes, sir, we'll be there bright and early.
All right. Well, there you go. There's a couple more that are planning on being here early tomorrow and perusing the offerings in the boneyard. So you'll have to get here early to get first pickings or second pickings or third pickings, because many of the folks have figured out that that's when the opportunities are here. A lot of folks are bringing stuff that they just want to get sold, and once they make their sale, they can get on out of here. So sometimes folks are willing to make good deals when they first arrive. Other folks, deals come later in the day or later in the weekend when they realize that if they can't sell it, they're going to have to take it home. So either way, you just have to play the opportunity as it presents itself. David, what would you do to make sure the radio that you bought would work for GMRS applications?
Well, first of all, I would look for anything that didn't have a flashlight. That's the first sign to ensure that it may be a compliant radio. Another thing is, just with commercial grade radios, the Kenwood, the last three numbers is 110 on the FCC ID, and then Google. Google is your friend, and also the FCC's website to run the number on there to find out if it is Part 90 compliant.
Well, that is a great point. I have had many of those flashlight radios, and it took a while for me to come to the understanding that if you want a good flashlight, it's probably not going to have a radio attached. And I think the inverse is also true. So something to consider when you're looking at inexpensive radios. And for just a little bit more money, you can oftentimes find a good used Part 90 radio that will serve very well in GMRS service. So one of the reasons that Part 90 radios work so well for GMRS is when you look at the commercial band for frequency spread, GMRS is right in the middle of that. That 400 megahertz portion of the commercial band. So that gives us the opportunity to be able to capitalize on commercial radios. There's that timeout timer again.
You find everyone in the whole network.
There's definitely bugs in this system tonight.
Murphy's hanging out here. We should have brought him a chair.
Oh man. I don't know why we have a timeout timer, but apparently we do. So yeah, we're right in the middle of that commercial band, so it gives us the opportunity to capitalize on these used Part 90 radios. And these commercial radios are built like tanks. They're built for rugged service and long life, and we use them on the railroad, in our service trucks, and we use VHF radios predominantly on the railroad, but it's still the same basic construction. And they use these radios in police cars and fire trucks and all kinds of service vehicles. And when we have the opportunity to repurpose these radios for our use, they end up in a very light duty application, and we can expect a timeout timer. We can expect a long life out of these radios. We're going to turn this into a drinking game. How many times is Justin going to hit the timeout timer?
Every time.
Probably every single time when he speaks a word.
All right.
I'm working on that bug next. I've got the Kenwood software right here.
Fantastic. All right, so he's going to tighten up the timeout timer, probably make it 60 seconds so that I got to talk fast now. Next on our list is next on our list is Gainesville 23. Bob, how would you determine Bob, how would you determine whether or not a used radio, is suitable for GMRS service?
Good evening, trailer or Vanguard. I would just buy it on Amazon, because if it comes off Amazon, you know it's good to go.
Well, and returns are easy as well.
No, all kidding aside, FCC website, you can get on there and do an equipment search and type in your radio information, and it'll come back and let you know. And if that don't work, I can call 946 or 750 and ask them. I bet they would have the answer.
Well, that's one thing you could do, but your first suggestion was the best suggestion, the FCC's website. Jeff, is there a video that talks about identifying a radio with an FCC ID?
I think I just made one this week. And if you went to the North Georgia GMRS YouTube channel and looked under instructional video playlist, it'll be right there.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about how to use the FCC website and enter, there's some tips, there's some tricks to know about plugging in the FCC ID into the website, and it's not obvious. So it'll be a good idea to spend a few minutes with that video. How long is that video? About
5 or 10 minutes. It's not long at all.
It's not long, not a long video. Not a big investment. You can pull that video up on your phone and watch it while you're eating breakfast. Before you come to the Hamfest. I thought you fixed that thing.
I didn't fix it yet. I said I was working on it.
Oh my golly. Is this 5 or 10 minutes like a video? Are you trying to make a video of changing the timeout timer?
That's not a bad idea. I think the better video is going to be how many times you hit it.
Well, that video is being made as we speak.
If David and Bob took your advice, they may not make it here in the morning at the rate you're going.
That could very well be. All right. Well, good stuff, Bob, and glad to know that that you've got plans for being here tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you then. Next on my list, I have WRML 768 Greg from Warner Robins. Greg was here visiting us live at the Studio Vanguard, and he just wanted to poke his head in here and see how things operate. So you get the live presentation. Also, we have Chattanooga.
It's 1 minute. That's all you get.
Nice job.
It truly is 1 minute? Or that's what you set it to?
No, that's what it is. I'm still working on changing it.
Oh, my golly. All right, so 52 seconds left. Next on my list is... where was I? Was I at Chattanooga 162? Larry in Chattanooga is in and out. Atlanta 240. Patrick in Duluth is in and out. And that'll bring us to Atlanta 316. David from Johns Creek. This is his first net. David, welcome to North Georgia GMRS. And you plan on coming to the Stone Mountain Hamfest tomorrow? All right, we're going to go ahead and mark David as in and out and continue right along. Atlanta 214, Tyler in Cumming is in and out. Oh, I just marked the wrong. There it is. There we go. Okay, Tyler is in and out, and that'll bring us to Atlanta 259. Dana in Dahlonega. Dana, you plan on coming to the Hamfest tomorrow, and you plan on buying any radios? He's not coming, is he?
Well, good evening, guys, and unfortunately, no, and with much regret, I will not be able to attend tomorrow or Sunday, but if I were in the market to buy even more Kenwoods than I have right now, well, hey, I would only buy from Gary, and if there was a situation where I was not sure, hey, there's always you and Jeff. So, I mean, I think I got it kind of mastered here.
Well, that is that is a good point. And if you do buy a radio from Gary, you're buying a radio that's been bench tested and tuned up and qualified. This is a radio that has an assurance of quality operation, and it's a radio that has been programmed and ready to go, about as plug and play as you can get, so that when you take it home and put power on it, put an antenna on it, and plug a microphone in, you're on the air. And so that's a great idea. That's a great suggestion, and that's a great opportunity. And I'm pretty sure that you won't be able to spend as much on one of these radios from Gary as you would on a KG 1000, the Wooks radio. How do you say that, Jeff?
I can't say that on the air.
So
that was great right there.
Was that my timeout timer or yours?
That was both of y'all's.
Well, maybe that was preemptive for how I pronounce the radio.
Perhaps. All right. So, but yeah, that's a great suggestion in terms of buying a radio from Gary. You can have some assurance that you're getting a quality radio, and one that is certainly approved for North Georgia GMRS and will work well for you. I think these used radios sometimes are a tremendous value because I'm not hearing. Oh, Jeff, when's the last time you heard somebody send a radio back to Gary because it burned up shortly after they got it?
I don't think I've ever heard that.
But we hear people sending their BTEC radios back all the time. And, we hear about this great customer service. They're very good at taking the radio back and replacing it with the new radio. Are you gonna change that at all, or you just?
I don't remember where it is in 8180 software.
Oh my golly!
So I spent so much time doing videos on Anytones that I forgot the Kenwood.
He's doing more videos than working on this little time set thing.
Well, I suppose we're just gonna have to get through it, and that'll be okay. But as I was saying, I think that you can get a tremendous value from these radios. From the North Georgia GMRS booth, and the money that you spend is money that directly helps the network and helps us to fund other projects and things, and so that's very good stuff. All right, so next on my list is Cades Cove 81. Candace in Rockwood is in and out. Also, I have Atlanta 292. Derek in Rockmart is in and out. I have Chattanooga 10. David in Ottawa is in and out. I have Blue Ridge. I can't even get through the roster. Blue Ridge 68. Greg in Morgantown is in and out. I have Atlanta 11. John in Canton is in and out. I have Atlanta 931. Scott, also in Canton, in and out. Atlanta 532. Thomas. He's actually Tom in Flowery Branch. Also, Chattanooga 30, Jonathan in Lakeside is in with us tonight. John, did you have any intentions of coming to the Hamfest, and any knowledge or advice in looking for radios that you can use as a Part 90 radio?
This is Chattanooga 30. On the net a couple months ago when you were asking how people got into GMRS, I'd shared that my radios were some mid-late 90s Motorola units left over from when I worked in forestry. And while the quality of these units is, unmatched, I used them hard for 6 or 8 years, put them in a box in storage for almost 20 years, moved them 8 or 10 times during that time, got them out of the box, plugged them in, turned them on, and they worked. These radios are not what I'll call field programmable. These are old enough it takes somebody with either a DOS-based or a Windows 95-based computer to program them, and they have to have the proprietary Motorola software, which means if I want to change channels on these radios, I've got to send them off to somebody. That's a big consideration for break. there's a couple members here in the NGGMRS network who can't program them. But like when I got this radio program, I just kind of picked out a couple channels and a couple local repeaters, got them programmed in. Namely, had all the Chattanooga area repeaters programmed in, but from my location, I can really only reach the White Oak repeater. Georgetown, I can hear it, can't reach it. Ottawa, I can barely hear it, can't reach it. Chattanooga 700, I can kind of hear it, can't reach it. The Lookout 575 that wasn't even on the, how do you say, well, it wasn't even a listed project when I got my radio program, is now on the air. I can kind of hear it, but I don't think I can reach it. Weird as I can hear Fort Mountain pretty clearly, but I can't reach it. So really, I need to send my radio back out and get it reprogrammed for some other channels. I also just realized tonight that I had asked him to program in channels 1 and 2 into this radio for simplex use. And I just realized that this is a 40-watt radio, and it is not legal on GMRS or FRS channels 1 and 2. That is limited to 5 watts. I've never transmitted on there, but it's like, oh, oops, I didn't catch that, and I don't think he did either. Break. So if you're looking at a, let's say a used radio and one that is the Part 90, which means it was basically a commercial radio, you need to be able to program that radio. Some of them can be programmed from the front panel, meaning you could do it with the buttons and controls on the front of the radio if you got the instructions. But a lot of them have to be sent out, and it's very common for each specific model of radio or submodel in a given family to require its own special programming software, which it adds to the complexity. Sometimes I believe the Kenwood software, you can buy a legal copy for around $60, which is not bad. If you have a computer old enough to run it, there was a thing on the Facebook page a couple nights ago of guys trying to figure out which operating system was, Windows 95, XP, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 8.1. What operating system were they going to have to program a given radio? And that's not a bad thing, but you need to be aware of that when you buy that radio, of the complications that you're going to have to go through to program it per break. And so with all that said, that is something to be said for some of the imports like the Woshin K1000G, where you buy the radio and for another $20, $30, $40 you get the programming software, which is very easy to use. You can program that radio from the front panel or from a PC, very simple to program, change channels anytime you want. This radio I'm on is only an 8-channel radio, so I'm very limited on who I can talk to and what I can do with it. On the Friday Night Simplex, I live in a hole, and I can't reach anybody, and when they switch over to channel 22, I'm out of the game because I don't have 22 programmed in this radio. Break. So that pretty much sums it up, is not only do you need a radio that's legal to use, but you also got to be able to program it so it works on the frequencies and the repeaters that you need to hit from where you live. Back to net control.
Apparently nothing. Well, good point, John. And I like what you said about programming the radios, and that is a challenge with a commercial radio, because you don't often get the opportunity to just program the radio with Chirp or with whatever software might be out there. Commercial radios require specific and proprietary software very often in order to program them. There are a handful of Part 90 Kenwood radios that can be programmed with Chirp, but not very many. And most Kenwood Motorola radios require sometimes hard to come by manufacturer and model specific software. So the software you have to program your Kenwood TK880 isn't going to work on the 8180. They're completely different software packages, and you'll have to have a separate. you'll have to have a separate software for each radio that you have. So that seems like that could be a real problem. One of the things that you have to consider, though, is that there are quite a number of North Georgia GMRS members who have acquired various programming capabilities and software. And I doubt if anyone has the capacity to program a wider range of models and radios than Atlanta 780 Houston. He has a tremendous library of software and computers and cables and proprietary equipment to be able to program radios, and that's a huge asset. And he's one that would be willing to program a radio for you. You just have to get it to him and spend the time and postage or whatever it might be, the travel time to get there. But he's a great resource for the network. Let me break. I beat that one.
Barely, just barely.
And so he's a great resource to use. There are many others in the network that you can potentially call on to help program a radio if you acquire one of these Part 90 radios. Or
speaking of calling on other members, why don't we let Dallas 20 talk about programming these Kenwoods for just a minute so we can fix this one.
Dallas 20, are you there?
Yes, sir. This is Dallas 20. One thing to remember when you're, programming the Kenwood radios is, make sure you're getting the specific programming software for it, and the software can be, easily found.
Come on.
On eBay that has roughly
aside from fixing mouses, I fixed everything else in this trailer tonight.
The only thing you have to be aware of is the computer may need to be an older version. Let me take a break. Some of the software needs older operating systems to run. I've had good luck with mine on my 8180, the 880, the TK380 handheld HD, 390s, all run on Windows 11. You just have to make sure you're running the correct programming cable, which is the FTDI programming cable, not the prolific. Windows 11 will not work well with the prolific chips.
You can take back over.
Very good stuff, David. Thank you for all of that. And yeah, the programming software is out there, and in a lot of cases, it's a free download. It's just knowing where to get it and where to get the licenses, the keys, and that sort of thing for those programs. And even,
remembering where the settings are in the software, like timeout timers.
Timeout timers, yes. So did we make a correction?
Yeah, if you hit it now, you've been talking way too long. It's 1,200 seconds now.
Challenge accepted. All right. Well, thank you, David, for carrying that for us. We did have to go off the air momentarily to make that transition, and you saved the day there, or at least you saved us from the dead air that we would have had. But very good stuff. And another consideration that we should kind of roll back to is that all of this concern for programming a radio is kind of unnecessary if you buy one from Gary tomorrow at the Hamfest. So this really wasn't meant to be a commercial. Other than this is really, seriously, a great opportunity to come up with a good radio that you can have, and it'll be a good value, good value for the dollar, good way to spend your dollar and get a lot of radio for that. Now, there are some things that some of the newer radios can do that these old Kenwoods are not going to do, and there's some DMR stuff. There's there's all kinds of bells and whistles in some of these newer radios, but we can't do DMR and GMRS. So all of those bells and whistles become kind of unnecessary if we're strictly talking about a GMRS radio.
That's 100% right. And, I kind of look at it as like a Leatherman versus the actual 3/4 inch box end wrench that you need. Yeah, the Leatherman may do it, but the 3/4 inch wrench is the right tool for the job that does it 100% of the time.
I remember a table and a 7/16 inch wrench.
I don't want to go. You just like pushing my buttons, I swear.
Well, that worked out quite well with the Leatherman. It just happened to work beautifully. Fortunately, those nuts weren't very tight, but good stuff. But yes, but at the same time, when we're looking at Part 90 radios, sometimes we can get into a Part 90 radio that can serve more than just GMRS. And that radio can potentially be a radio that you can use in VHF and in UHF and maybe even in 220 if you can get the right combination of radio. What radio might I be talking about, Jeff?
That would be the Anytone D578 Pro.
The Pro model is the Part 90 model.
Correct. The Plus is not.
The Plus is not. It's not Part 90. It is a amateur radio.
Yeah, and it has other bells and whistles like airplane, band, receive, and some other things that you may find fancy, but not if you want to use it on GMRS.
Yeah, and a lot of that airplane stuff you can use. There's a lot of different radios you can use for that if that's something you're interested in. Most scanners, you don't need a transmitter for the aircraft band because you are not allowed to transmit there. So a scanner is a fine tool if that's something you're interested in. But a point that was made earlier that we should probably come back to, when we're programming these radios for our personal use for GMRS, if it's a commercial radio, and it's a 40-watt radio, you need to really think hard about how we're going to program that radio because it may not be a radio that we can use in simplex operations, especially in simplex operations on the FRS channels. So, but even the GMRS channels are limited to, in some cases, 5 watts. So if the radio won't power down on its low power to 5 watts or less, then you should consider not even programming those simplex channels into the radio.
Or some radios allow you to PTT prohibit and select that for that channel so you don't actually accidentally key up on it, but at least you can still hear it.
And that might be worth doing. It'll give you the opportunity to hear the radio without putting yourself into trouble and keying up on a frequency at a power level we're not allowed to. So, all right, so where are we at here on our list?
I was just going to ask you that. I was too busy fixing things.
Yeah, we just talked with Jonathan, and he told us all about his radios. And I think Jonathan raised the point about Part 90 radios and simplex operations. So that was a very good point. Next on our list is Atlanta 589, Don in Kennesaw. Don is in and out with us tonight, and that'll bring us to Cades Cove 83, Bill in Rockwood. Bill was also in and out with us tonight. And I'm not sure if Cades Cove 80 planned on being in.
You got a break.
Or in and out. I'm at 10 minutes?
No, you're going to trip the network. Time out.
Cades Cove 80. Yeah, I had checked in. The only thing, I tell you, Atlanta 259 or 259, he took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say, so I just want to elaborate on that a little bit. I was in the market for a new radio, and several members had recommended me buy one from Gary, and they also recommended the Kenwood TK8180, and that's what I chose to go with. And, I'm really glad I did because everything they said has happened. I got a good radio.
It's the TK8180, and I mean I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's more of a radio than I've ever had. Even when I worked fire rescue and all that, we were lucky to have 4 channels on our radios. But as far as amateur radio, buying one of those, I'm not going to elaborate on that because I'm not in the amateur radio yet. I have been kicking around the idea of, let me break, of taking the test to become a amateur radio operator. The only radio I got that would work on that is not that great of a radio. So that's one reason I've held back on it, because at some point I got to quit buying radios, and I know we all said that, and everybody told me, when I first started back in May of this year, that I'd buy more than one, and I said, no, one's enough, that's all I need, blah, blah, blah. Now I've got 4 mobiles and 3 HTs, or 2 HTs. So, from May to now, I've accumulated that and finally got a good radio with it. I got net control. I'm sorry I can't make it down there, but that's just a little far for me to go this time. Y'all enjoy it, and I'll be there in spirit 100%. This be Case Code 80. Back to you, net control.
All right, Rocky. I think that's something that a lot of us come to is once you have a Kenwood mobile, a Kenwood base, and a Kenwood HT, then you're kind of done buying radios.
You forgot the spare Kenwood.
Well, there is some of that, but I mean, we tend to continuously look for another radio until we get to the one that, okay, well, this is the radio, this is it. And a lot of folks, I mean, I don't hear very many people say, man, I got this Kenwood and I hate it. That just is not something I think I've ever heard.
The only time I hear that with Kenwood is if people are trying to mobile install it in a small car and they just can't find a place to put it.
Well, there is that. And if that's the application, then maybe you do need to look at something else. The remote head installs are even in some cases pretty clunky with some of those radios. But if that's the requirement, is you need to put a radio in your wife's car, then maybe you need to look at something altogether different in terms of remote mounting and things like that. So definitely something worth considering. But that, Rocky, I think, is a common theme among many of us, is once we get our hands on a good ICOM, a good Kenwood, a good Motorola radio, then we're kind of, all right, well, that's where we're at.
We're there.
Yeah, I don't need any more. And, this is a time of year that kills me because I see all these radios, especially these radios on Gary's bench, and I want one. I want one of those. I want one of those. That's a cool radio. So I've already spent $800 or $900 in my mind on the radios that I want and absolutely do not need.
And the Hamfest didn't even open yet.
And yeah, so and I haven't actually bought any, and I don't think I'm going to. But I did make a couple of deals with Atlanta 60 on radios that if they don't sell,
oh boy,
so we'll see what happens. So you got to come and buy the radio so that I don't end up with it.
So you're putting the blame on the rest of the network.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's an interesting concept, but let's see if it works out for you.
All right. Well, that is the end of our list.
Wait a minute. I'm getting text messages because he's laughing at us, so I'm calling him out. BR549. Are you out there, Uncle Mike? Because I know you're listening.
Mark. Yes, I am. This is WRBT 591, BR 549, Uncle Mike, up around Cherry Log. Checking in, but my logic tells me I should immediately check out. Howdy, Jeff.
Well, I know you're following along, and based on your text messages, it sounds like the recording of this net needs to go in the comedy playlist because everything has gone wrong here this evening.
It's been a mess.
What I liked about it, if I can be perfectly honest, I'd like more of that and fewer commercials. But yeah, we got to sell them radios. But I'm sure there's people out there to talk to that'll make us all laugh.
Well, I'm sure if you were sitting in here this evening, you would have been laughing the whole time at me scrambling around like a chicken with my head cut off, pulling every rabbit out of the hat I had, but I think I'm out of rabbits at this point. David might have to come back with the whole rabbits.
The whole rabbit.
Yeah. Might need David to give us some more rabbits tomorrow.
Yeah, at least a couple of rabbits' feet.
Something like that.
Something. I don't know why. How lucky can a rabbit be if his foot turns into a keychain? But that's another topic.
Well, we're glad to have you, Uncle Mike, and we understand you're not going to make it to the Hamfest, but we had to get you on the air and be here at least on RF.
I think I done 10-4 you. I think I done signed out, but with anybody's permission, I'd like to sign back in. I decided about an hour ago that maybe I could get there before it closes on Sunday. What time is that?
2:00.
Justin is telling me that the gates close at 2 p.m. So probably want to get here a little bit before noon at least and have a hot dog and hang out for a little while before the gates close.
Yeah, the gates are going to close. The Hamfest is going to be over at 2:00, but a lot of times we see the vendors start packing up around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and a lot of the boneyard vendors will be gone. In fact, many of the Saturday boneyard vendors won't be back for Sunday. So it does thin out pretty quickly right after lunch.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's really good for me, Justin. Y'all done taught me in one of those 880 desktop things, I think. Boy, and that hole right there in my desk is perfectly. It'd be a nice way to fill it up. But I guess if I can't get there in time to buy one, I can make other arrangements. I think you mentioned something else. Can't think of what it was. Something I want everybody out there listening, if you got a minute of my time, hold up one of your hands with your fingers wide open. In Boy Scout language, that's a big hand. Let's give a big hand to Chattanooga 69 for taking care of business tomorrow. Well done, Ronnie.
Well, very good stuff. Yes, I think that does deserve a big hand, and really appreciate Ronnie helping out with Jason and getting him here for the test. So hopefully that all comes together and produces our newest amateur radio licensee.
Maybe two.
Maybe more, because I don't know who else is coming to test, but I would imagine there's potentially many more.
That's right.
So, all right. Well, then, I'm glad you brought that up. That does deserve a big hand. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Mike, for raising that issue and pointing that out. And yeah, that's kind of the deal for me, Mike. Is if there's radios, and there are radios on Gary's table that I would very much like to have, and I I could have gone in there ahead of y'all and picked and choose. You know, Gary, I'd like to have that radio, and he would have sold it to me. I'm 100% certain, but
That's not really fair.
it's not really fair. So what we came to is that if you have any of those left when it's all done,
I'll take it home.
I'll take it off your hands. You won't have to take that one home. So if y'all come and buy them out, then I won't be burdened with having to buy radios that I don't need, because I don't need them. But all right.
Not only do you not need them, you don't have a place to put them right now.
I have to put them in your barn.
All right, so everybody needs to buy all them radios off that table tomorrow.
Because that's what we're down to, is I'm storing stuff in Jeff's barn now. But hopefully we'll get that studio built, and we can get equipment moved into that and turn that into a radio playground. I'm going to break. We're going to take more check-ins. Net control standing by.
This has turned into a comedy show.
This is WRVE 372, chat 160, checking in.
This is WRMA 965, Atlanta 964, Richard in Duluth.
You got this for a minute?
Yeah.
WRVR 393, Atlanta 178, Mike in Conyers, checking in.
This is WRCT 399, Atlanta 261. Scott from Holly Springs. If you don't mind, gentlemen, check me in, and ladies, check me in and check me out. Thank y'all.
This is WRXV 688, Atlanta 454, Stephen Milburn, checking in, checking out. See you guys tomorrow, Hamfest.
WRXM 345, Gainesville 43. David in Auburn, checking in, checking out.
Have you got a key to the coach?
Yeah, it's in the cup holder in my truck. That computer is doing all kinds of goofy things.
Okay.
It keeps flipping back and forth between NS and... It's in the cup holder right in the center console. Okay. All right, let's go over what we heard here. I heard Chattanooga 160. David in Chickamauga is in with us tonight. Atlanta 964. Richard in Duluth is in with us tonight. Atlanta 178. Michael in Conyers is in with us tonight. Atlanta 261, Scott in Holly Springs is in and out. Atlanta 454, Stephen in Lilburn also in and out. And Gainesville 43, David in Auburn is in and out. That is what I heard so far. I will take one more call for late check-ins, comments, or questions. The floor is open, and then we'll go back down through the list for this last group. Net Control standing by. All right, I heard Cades Cove 81, which would be Miss Candace, with a comment, and that is all I have at this time as far as additional comments, questions, or check-ins. So, Candace, go ahead with your comment, and then we'll go on down the list.
I haven't felt well these last few days, but I want to tell y'all that you're doing awesome at the net every Thursday night, and I look forward to the next net, and I hope everybody has fun at the Hamfest tomorrow and Sunday. It will be the only thought and ain't the main one. I'm well at you next
All right, Miss Candace. Well, we hope you get to feeling better, and thank you for the kind words. And we'll hear you again, hopefully, at some point this weekend from the fairgrounds, and you can at least check into the Hamfest over the radio. So we'll talk to you real soon. Next on my list is Chattanooga 160, David in Chicktown. David, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Part 90 radios. David, do you have any questions or comments as far as making sure a radio is usable on the North Georgia GMRS network?
Well, good evening, everybody. And I just want to say it's great to be home. Just got back from Indiana. And no, both my radios are Kenwoods. Love my 8180s, both the base and the truck model. And pretty much before I buy a radio, I make sure it can be operated on the band I'm going to be using it on. Other than that, back to you guys. Just want to say hello.
Well, good deal, David. Glad you made it home safe from your journey. I guess that would be to... Is that considered the Midwest in Indiana?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well, glad you made it home safe, and look forward to hearing from you real soon. Next on the list is Atlanta 964, Richard in Duluth. Richard, did you have any questions or comments with regard to making sure your radio is appropriate for the North Georgia GMRS network?
No questions right off the bat. Mostly ham radio here, but I have started dabbling in GMRS now that I can hit flagship a little better. But I'll be at the Hamfest tomorrow. I'll drop by and see if I can meet some of y'all.
Well, good deal. We are inside the booth just when you come in through the Davis Road exit, or entrance, however you want to look at that. You go through the double glass doors, and the check-in is right there for the Hamfest, where you get your raffle tickets and those kinds of things. And then our booth is right there in the main aisle, right in front. And then Vanguard is on the opposite side of that first building when you come in through the Davis Road entrance. So we'll see you tomorrow, Richard, and look forward to meeting you and shaking your hand. Next on our list is Atlanta 178, Michael in Conyers. Michael, did you have any questions or comments with regard to radios that are appropriate for the North Georgia GMRS network?
Net Control, I do have a question about some of the radios that will be available through North Georgia GMRS tomorrow. Specifically, I'm looking for some radios that would be capable for GMRS. So when I found out that you guys were selling them, I was definitely interested in coming and checking that out. My question is, do you guys know specifically what models or anything like that you will be selling? I've heard talk of some Kenwoods, but I didn't hear anything specific. I wanted to be able to do my research ahead of time tonight and see if there was any of those that I'm interested in. I know that Gary said there would be some power supplies as well. Hopefully those will fit my needs, and I can get out of there with one of those as well. While I'm there, I'll be taking my general exam on the amateur radio side of things, so it'll be an exciting day all around, but I'm definitely interested to know what kind of stuff y'all are selling tomorrow.
Well, there's quite the list as far as models go, but we can save some airtime. Are you specifically looking for base stations or mobiles or portables, or what exactly are you looking for, or maybe a combination of each?
Heard a lot of good things about the Kenwood 8180. I think based on my location, I would likely need the higher wattage version. I think that's either 40 or 45 watts. Not that I'd always have to use that, but it would be nice to have that on tap. Sometimes that's all I can use to get in. But do you guys have any of those for sale, perhaps?
Yes, sir. There is some 8180s, both the K and the H models that I saw on the table. I didn't exactly count how many of each one there was.
Well, there's more radios than were on the table too. There's boxes underneath the table with radios. So I don't know how many he has, but I think there's a few.
So I saw some 8180s, the K and the H models. I saw some 8360s. I saw some 8160s, and I know there's some 880s. The base station setup, which has the little shroud that holds the power supply right there with it, that come with some desk mics as well. So you got your choice of varying models, but those are the big four that I saw, at least while we were setting things up. But, you know, we were getting Vanguard out here ready for the net tonight, so I didn't see the full selection of what he had.
I did see a number of desk mics there, so, you know, you could sound just like CV.
I thought he fixed that.
Creak, 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 creak.
Well, Gary knows how to fix that regardless. So.
Oh, yeah, Kenwood oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the four models as far as mobile/base stations that I know about, is the 880s, 8180s, 8360s, and 8160s that I know are over there, but there may be more than that. Like I said, we were getting set up and ready for the net while Gary was working on setting up the booth. So those are the four that I know about. And the power supplies, there's some rack-mounted power supplies, and I think he's got some Samlex 25-ish amperage, somewhere in there, give or take, that are not rack-mounted. But again, don't quote me on that. I just kind of browsed through there briefly.
Yeah, and these are the linear style power supplies. These are the, you know, this isn't the little 24-ounce $30 Amazon power supply.
You need a hand truck to move them.
This is one that's with a big old transformer in it, and big rectifiers and big capacitors, and it's a very solid and a very clean power supply. These are power supplies that are made specifically for radio applications, and serve very, very well in that task. So
does that answer your question, Michael, without exactly knowing everything we have to offer for you? That kind of give you a brief Reader's Digest version of what we saw.
That all sounds fantastic. It's pretty much exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm definitely even more excited about it now. I'll be doing my best to get there as early as possible. For me, that pretty much does mean it's opening. I'll do my best to be there. So as long as everything goes well, I'll see you guys in the morning and hopefully come shake a few hands and get out there in the boneyard and see what's going on with all that. Hope everything keeps going. I was over at the Vanguard trailer. I heard a few things tonight, but overall it sounded really great, and I'm glad you don't have that capability now. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for doing the net tonight. Have a great evening. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. This will be Atlanta 178 clear.
All right, Michael. Well, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Next on my list, I have 3 in and outs. I have Atlanta 261, Scott in Holly Springs. I have Atlanta 454, Stephen in Lilburn. and Gainesville 43. David and Auburn all in and out, which is the end of our list. And we already called for last call. So you got that section of the script?
I do. This will conclude the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. We had a total of, what was it?
55.
55 check-ins tonight, including myself and Jeff. Net Control will now be returning the repeaters back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you for allowing us to serve as your Net Control this evening. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQYR 514. My name is Justin.
And Atlanta 750, WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
We are North Georgia GMRS Network.
And we are clear. Good night, everyone.
Good
Hope
night.
to see you tomorrow.